Hello Leo, my name is Megan. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button, like and comment on this video if it just so happens to resonate with you. Today we're going to go ahead and take a look at the person that is on your mind currently. Let's get into it. What are the feelings? What are the emotions? All that good stuff. Sun, moon, and risings. Let's do it to it. Leo and the person that is on their mind currently. Page of Swords reversed. I'm not going to speak on that just yet. Some of you may have a legal thing going on. That's just for one or two of you. But you feel like you've been decepted here. Decepted? Is that a word? You deceived, I feel like is the word I was looking for. You feel like you've been deceived. Also, this person, you feel like they worked a lot rather than maybe paid attention to you. That started to hurt your feelings after a while, but you would like this connection to move into smoother waters. You're hoping for either a reconciliation here or for this to just kind of move forward in general. Some of you may be dealing with a Cancer. Some of you also may be dealing with someone who's very passionate. Not passionate necessarily when they should be, though, just passionate in general. Not when they not should be either, right? They might be passionate with other people, but they're just a passionate person overall in general. Again, with this person's work schedule. For some of you, this person's born on the 7th or the 8th or the 14th. You could also be dealing with a life path 7 or a life path 8. In numerology, 7 is the number of spirituality, the loner, taking in knowledge. 8 is the number of money, wealth. It's also the number of karma, though. So if you have 8 energy, watch your karma always. Let's see here. Yeah, this person, it's like either you know that this person's work schedule or how much they love to work. You recognize it as a burden that's just in the way of this, bringing this connection into calmer waters here. Either that, or maybe it's both, but I'm also picking up that this person knows that they put a lot of burdens in the way of this connection by how much they work. You could be, many of you are dealing with somebody who's very financially successful or abundant, or they're on the track to get there, which is always an attractive quality when someone pours into what they love, especially if it's bringing abundance currently or it's something that can bring abundance in the future. That's always a really attractive quality, especially to women, especially to women. There's no gender in tarot, but women are attracted to that because it's a form of safety. It's one of my pet peeves when men go on rants about gold digger this, gold digger that. I always like to kind of just put my 2 cents in very, very gently with people like that and kind of remind them that women like to feel safe in relationships. And, just naturally, if we know that there's financial safety with a man, that's already, that's an attractive quality already. That's just that is a gender thing, even though there's no gender in tarot. Anyways, I feel like this is something that is very attractive about this person is just how hard they work. You very well may be dealing with an earth sign or an air sign, but I'm getting earth with air placements, but it's like they know that they put these burdens in the way because of their work schedule, but they have to have their priorities there in order to kind of have the life that they want to have with you to provide is what I'm getting. Yeah, this is somebody who's going to want to be a provider. This is a very specific reading, not for all of you out there, but this is somebody who's going to cut through all of the BS with that King of Swords there. They're not going to sugarcoat anything. They're not going to be someone who beats around the bush. They're going to communicate. I feel like you are dealing with somebody who's great at communication, typically, and it's like a brand new cycle with this person. I just feel like this is a connection where you're both trying to navigate how to handle how much either this person works or you, Leo. I am getting it's more this person, but roles can always be reversed. For some of you, you're wishing that this person would come towards you more, maybe work a little less, come towards you a little more. You could be getting just a little bit defensive about this situation. I'm seeing a little bit of defensiveness, but it's like this person knows this. They know this. And I'm also getting the message that this person has to be one way at work, very authoritative, very much in their dominance aura. If that makes any sense. They have to have the aura of dominance when they're in their career or in their workspace, or even if this person works from home, it's like they're in charge. They're very, very concerned with money. Many of you may be dealing with a Capricorn. Capricorn is the sign of money a lot of times. So or someone who's born on the 8th or born on an 8th day or life path 8. Like I said earlier in this reading, 8 is the number of money. Also, maybe this person could be born on the 28th. That's the number of wealth. Not everyone with 28 energy is wealthy, but when you need money, it comes to you a lot easier than a lot of other numbers. I digress. This person knows that they're kind of responsible for the burdens in the way of this connection. And I'm getting the message that as authoritative as they have to be sort of in this workspace that they have to enter into, because they really do care about their financial security, I'm getting the message that they have a hard time switching from that role at work to then when they see you, to then becoming a softer, more intimate type person. They may have trouble switching it off. This may be somebody who even when they get home, it's like they're constantly working still, even though you haven't seen them all day, type of thing. But we have the Wheel of Fortune here. Some of you are dealing with a Sagittarius, not a fellow Sagittarius, we're on Leo. Sagittarius and Leos typically get along beautifully. I love that connection, but I digress once again. I'm actually seeing a lot of really good luck with this connection. If you guys could just really learn to communicate and work through some of these issues. This is a typical issue that a lot of couples will face, is especially if one party is very well off and, you know, running something very stable and has a lot going on. It can be very hard to make those situations work, depending on the people at play here and their energies, right? It's always energy based. How does this person feel at the deepest level about Leo? That just flew out, didn't it? They're very passionate about, wow, they're very, very passionate about you. How they feel about you is they actually feel like maybe if they walked away, you would be happier. There's just a little piece of them that feels that way, but the thought of walking away makes them really sad. So I don't see them walking away, so don't freak out or anything like that. But once in a while, they do have the thought, maybe you would be happier if they walked away, because they're, like I said, they're very highly aware of themselves and how much they work or that sort of thing. But this is someone who's very passionate about you. They don't want to take things slow. Even if they are taking things slow now because they're working a lot, they still think about you throughout the day. When they have something pop up, you're the first one that they want to tell. Even if you guys are not in communication right now, if you're on a break right now from this person, I'm getting they really miss talking to you throughout the day. You were the one person that they wanted to tell everything to, but that's not for the majority of you. For the majority of you, it's like this person feels very strongly for you. It's more than just passion. It's like you guys connect on this very intellectual level, but then they know that there's these burdens, and these are tough burdens like work and their career that they don't really know how to navigate with a relationship with you. So that's where this sort of, if they get distant sometimes, they may be considering the thought of walking away. I'm not getting that they want to walk away from you, but they do kind of realize like maybe if they walked away, things would just be easier and make you happier. But again, there's too much passion here, and there's too much emotional intellect between the both of you for them to want to go anywhere. How else does this person feel about Leo at the deepest level? Eight of Wands reverse, though. It's like sometimes they go cold, and that really disrupts you because of illusions. They get in their head. This person, as passionate as they are about you, as much as they want to come rushing in, this is somebody who will get in their head and try to talk themselves out of it, because this is somebody who has had this career plan or like some sort of plan in place to do with their pentacles for a long time. Like that is their main squeeze, so to speak. I'm like 75 now. But like they will go cold and not treat this, maybe leave you wondering here and there. And you know, Leo, I feel like you're understanding to a point with this person. Like you realize they're busy, they have a career, they have a life. But at some point, it's like when they go cold, you don't like that because you don't know. Are they really working? Maybe you've dealt with people in your past where they said they were working and they weren't. And that's also one of the first excuses people, you know, will tend to use when they're starting to question a relationship is, well, I'm working. I'm getting for this person, though, specifically, they do actually work a lot. They do actually work a lot, and they're very passionate about you. But it's like once in a while they'll get so caught up in the stress of everything that they have going on, they just wonder if you would be happier if they walked away. And to me, that actually says that they truly care about you. They truly love you. Like I said, for some of you, you're not in communication, or you haven't talked about some of these burdens affecting this connection. For many of you, you haven't actually talked about this. It's just something that's silently building up in your connection, but you both know that it's something that probably needs to be addressed. But like I said, I don't see this person necessarily taking action towards addressing any of this. How is Leo feeling about this person? You could see yourself with this person long term. You could see yourself having kids with this person. You could, but again, it's like you feel like sometimes this person's careless. You feel like sometimes they might be deceiving you or something like that because they work a lot. They might go cold once in a while. This really drives you nuts, and it almost sends some of you into like research mode where you're like, are they seeing someone else? What's going on? And in turn, that lowers your vibration. So this person has to really work on not going cold on you like that and making sure things are steady and stable. I'm seeing for your feelings towards this person, you want them. You would really love to have a family with them. But again, when they go cold, it's a completely different vibration. You're like, oh, I'm stupid. I should have known someone successful like that, someone out there really going after their dreams. Of course, they're going to attract other people. You know, they went cold, even though I'm getting in this reading, this person really is working. They really are, and they're trying to figure out ways around these burdens to give more to you. I am saying this person has quite an ego, though. They also may be a little bit younger than you. You're feeling like this person, sometimes they just don't come through with the romance like you would want them to as well. And when they do detach and get a little colder like that, as successful people tend to do more so, for whatever reason, detach, and I think it's because they go in, they kind of like lock in to their career mode. But like I said, you have a hard time kind of deciphering, well, are they into me or are they not? They're absolutely passionate about you for their feelings towards you. They're passionate about you, but they don't want to hurt you with how much they work. So I'm actually, the advice here is, I haven't pulled advice yet, but I'm picking up some advice already, is to actually have a conversation with this person, you know, about how when you feel like when they disappear for work and stuff, you know, it makes you uncomfortable. Maybe you've been hurt in the past. You know, have a really vulnerable conversation with this person about this. You know, don't attack them. Don't make them feel bad for how much they work, because like we talked about, that's an attractive quality that you don't want to take out of this person. But you also want to feel like a priority to this person. So, you know, maybe this person does need to be just a little bit more romantic. Maybe they do need to get out of their own ego, out of their own way just a little bit, and realize that you're here. Even though how they feel is very passionate about you, they could show that or speak that, depending on your love language, a lot more is what I'm getting. And when they don't, it's like you get really depressed about this connection and you wonder where it's going, because you really want this to work in a very profound type way. But you also don't want to be deceived either. All right, what's the advice for Leo in dealing with this person? The Magician. Definitely, wow. Yeah, have the conversation. Many of you may be, well, you're watching this channel, so many of you may be very spiritual, but you may have spiritual gifts of your own that you're not tapping into as much as you should, and the universe is actually calling on you to tap into these spiritual gifts so that you can help others. That's a message for a few of you out there. The universe really wants you to hone in on manifesting your own spiritual gifts into something, a career path, something that can help out others. But I'm also getting with this, as long as, you know, very calmly, very nicely, and I have to admit, I'm not always the best at this in relationships, because the relationships, and they're very emotionally triggering. They can be, right? So when we sit down to have a conversation with somebody, it can easily turn into defensiveness and things being taken out of context. But I am saying, if you sit down and actually, you know, talk to this person, take what's in here, all the knowledge you have about sort of how you're feeling this way, you know, one day, and then this way another day, and it's because they go cold, hot and cold. I'm getting the advice here, have the conversation, you know, really try to manifest, I don't want to say manifest this relationship, but, you know, yeah, manifest this relationship is what I'm getting into the 3D reality here. And how you're going to do that is just simply have a conversation about this with this person. And I'm seeing if you do that, this person's going to step it up a notch. but you have to share the knowledge that you're only keeping in your noggin, and you have to share it. And in order to do that, sometimes we just have to have a pulse on our own self-confidence, because it takes confidence to confront something in a relationship that we're not necessarily liking, because there's always the chance that the person could go, oh no, I'm not doing that, or I haven't been doing anything wrong, or even worse, you know what, you're being too needy, I'm way too busy for this, I don't have time to give to this anymore, and boom, it's done. And then you're like, oh no, I should have just been quiet. But if you would have stayed quiet about the things that are bothering you or about your needs, then that turns into resentment. Plus, if this person, let's just say they did react that way of I can't handle this, it's way too much, you don't need someone like that in your life anyways. Because you don't need to be in this kind of vibration ever. You don't need to be in this kind of vibration, especially not over another person. Relationship. So really work on your confidence here. Share any knowledge that any feelings that you're having, you know, any hits on your intuition about this person that are concerning, or that it's just really weighing heavily on your mind. Have the conversation. I'm seeing the reaction's going to be stepping it up a notch, maybe being a little bit more romantic with you. Yeah. They'll take a step forward. Maybe they just don't know which step forward to take, because they understand there's things getting in the way of this connection. They just might be so focused on everything they have going on in themselves right now, not in a selfish way necessarily, that they don't necessarily know what your needs are specifically. So really just have a calm conversation about what you're looking for, about what your needs are, maybe about what your intuition is saying. And I am seeing this person wanting to step up and give you your needs here, because they're very passionate about you. Not only that, they're going to move quick with this because they don't want to lose you. So that is what I have for you today, Leo. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and I will see you guys next time.